First of all, shout out to D3, DT3, the Boonman. But I'm going to have to respond to this. With DT3, we talking to misrepresent what Derrick Jaames said, first of all. Second of all, DT3, if you're going to talk about Terrence Crawford's accomplishments, you got to keep it at welterweight, man. Got to keep it at welterweight. You can't be talking about what he did at super lightweight. Otherwise, things at super lightweight. Then we got to talk about Mikey Garcia's accomplishments at super lightweight, you know, featherweight, super. It don't make no sense. The man is at welterweight now. Okay? He's at welterweight right now. All right? This is very important to understand. Anyway, this is what I'm going to say. Derrick Jaames wasn't saying anything about Terrence Crawford. I'm sorry, Errol Spence not facing Terrence Crawford. That's what he's saying. He's not saying Terrence Crawford needs to be, he needs to make big pay-per-view numbers and be relevant, especially on Twitter and stuff. He wasn't talking about Twitter and Facebook to start with. He wasn't talking about that. Bob Arum said that this fight would be a super fight between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. It would be a super fight, right? This is the same Bob Arum that said Terrence Crawford is going to make, it's going to be a huge pay-per-view star. And put Terrence Crawford on pay-per-view and it bust. All right? So it's from that aspect Derrick Jaames is talking. And Derrick Jaames clearly said he ain't making no suggestion about nothing because that's not really his business. But he was saying a couple things. First one was, why did Terrence Crawford re-sign with Bob Arum? That wasn't, well, that's the move he made, but he's just questioning it. I mean, you saying that all the welterweights and the PBC side are ducking you, but then you go and you re-sign with the same promotional company that they haven't been doing business with, or very rarely. Why don't you just sign up and either be your own promoter or whatever and go across the PBC? Or sign with some other promoter. There's Lou DiBella. Sign with him. So you make it so it's easier to make fights between the PBC fighters and you. Terrence Crawford has told, Errol Spence has told Terrence Crawford how he was going to proceed. He said, and he has been consistent, I'm going to take care first of Sean Porter. Then I'm going to face the winner of Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman. Then I'm going to come across and face you. Everybody has been trying to make unreasonable claims, thanks to Bob Arum, for Errol Spence to face Terrence Crawford before all them other guys on the PBC end. Yeah, Bob Arum is not doing that with his fighters. If he has fighters like Gavaliauskas, who the fuck is he, right? He got fighters like Gavaliauskas that Terrence Crawford is going to be facing, right? No fucking buddies. And he's giving Terrence Crawford to face those guys instead of allowing Terrence Crawford to be promoted properly. Bob Arum's doing a lousy job of promoting Terrence Crawford and getting him fights. So why is Terrence Crawford going back with Bob Arum, who has been doing a lousy job with him? That's what Derrick Jaames was asking. He didn't go that far, but that was what he's saying. And then Terrence Crawford ain't getting paid much. Other fighters getting paid better than him. So why did he do that? That is what Derrick Jaames was trying to understand. If you want to face the PBC welterweights, why do you go back with the same company that you're having difficulty making fights with the PBC welterweights? That's what Derrick Jaames was asking. It then goes on to say, Terrence Crawford hasn't done good pay-per-view numbers. Pay-per-view numbers. Not Twitter and all that shit. Who gives a fuck about that? You don't. So, you can't be asking, it basically is implying that if Errol Spence do all this work, go through, collect all these belts from all these great champions, doing it on pay-per-view and making good pay-per-view numbers, why the fuck would that fight be a 50-50 fight? Why would you harvest all the hard-earned effort Errol Spence uses to gain and become popular, and you just sit down like a big old fucking frog and collect money from that, and you can't even do a decent pay-per-view? It's a fair statement. It's fair. That's all Derrick James was saying. So you can't be clowning Derrick James on that. Like I said, what the fuck has Terrence Crawford done at welterweight? What has he done? You want to talk about him being undisputed, but that's at super lightweight, brother. That's not welterweight. If he was undisputed at welterweight, that's a totally different story. But he's at welterweight now. With welterweights. Great achievement to be undisputed champion. But that was at super lightweight. And at super lightweight, there were no, Jose Ramirez's, and there was no Josh Taylor's and Reggie's Prograis, and what's the kid name that Jose Ramirez beat? Division wasn't hot like that. You four guys. But it's a great achievement to be undisputed. Your best champion that you beat was Victor Postol. That's about it. Everybody else was Danny Garcia got tougher challenges than you. He had tougher fights. At least he faced Amir Khan when Amir Khan was something. Eric Morales and Lucas Matisse when Lucas Matisse was something. Lamont Peterson. You didn't face them kind of guys. You faced guys who just became champions and all that shit. Just saying. Danny faced legends. Long-reigning champions and shit like that. Except judo. So I'm just saying. You can't be going in on Errol and Derrick James giving Terrence Crawford a pass. You just can't do that. Derrick James made a very sensible point, in my opinion, about Terrence Crawford. And he don't hate Terrence Crawford. He would like to see Terrence Crawford do well. Oscar even went in on Terrence Crawford recently. Because Terrence Crawford ain't doing shit at welterweight. He ain't doing nothing. And it's not, you can't blame Errol Spence or any of those other guys at the PBCN. Because he had the opportunity. This is not the first time. This is the second time he signed with Bob Arum. Second time. So you can't talk about welterweights ducking him. That's stupid. They ain't ducking him. You signing back with a company that is not promoting you well. And on top of that, you're not getting the fights you want to get. You got to do something different. He signed with Bob Arum. Again. Maybe he owes Bob Arum money. Who knows? But he's doing like Timothy Bradley. He's hiding behind Bob Arum. Got all this clout and prestige and name and pound number one and all this shit. I think he's afraid to move away from Bob Arum because Bob Arum will start talking shit about him. Bob Arum's a nasty son of a bitch like that. So maybe that's it. I don't know. But Terrence Crawford right now, he fucked. And even when Errol Spence comes to face him and clean him up, what the fuck? He been facing duds. Errol being tested. So it's in his best interest to face good fighters. I give that Kell Brook behaved like an ass, talked about how he wanted to face, Terrence, and then turned around and said, "Oh man, I can't make the weight." That's stupid as fuck, man. I thought I was backing Kell Brook to face Terrence, and then Kell Brook comes up and says, "Oh, I can't make the weight anymore." Idiot. So I can't blame Terrence. He tried to get Kell Brook. There are others is Lipinets. Get his ass. Hugas. Get his ass. Um, Danny Garcia still ain't facing nobody. Get his ass. Go after those motherfuckers. Don't play around. Really try and get him. You fucked it up though. Shouldn't have signed with Bob Arum again. You should have probably just kept your own company or some kind of shit. But if you owe Bob money, you know what? I owe you money, bro. But I ain't signing again. Pay him off and get the fuck out of there. Because you have all these other fights that are available to you, but you allowing fucking Bob Arum to give you Kavaliauskas. You're gonna face Kavaliauskas. That's a shitty fight. I saw Kavaliauskas fight. He ain't worth shit. You gonna have a shit fight. A gimme again. Bob Arum be giving us all these gimme fucking fights. Otto Wallens and Schwartzes of the world. You know what I mean? That's the bullshit that we got to deal with. When real fights come around the corner, all of a sudden he's shielding his fighter. Lomachenko got 2 mandatories. Gervonta Davis and fucking Devin Haney. That's his mandatories now. He got the winner Teofimo Lopez and Richard Comey that he could try and unify with. But he got mandatories, motherfucker. Now he could leave his belts and go back down to super featherweight. Guess what? He gonna meet up with Tevin Farmer. He can't run or can't hide. His ass is gonna be grass one way or the other. All right, and Bob Arum trying to protect him. Talking about Devin Haney and Brady and Floyd keeping Gervonta Davis away from all kind of shit talk. Right? Don't. And guess what? Guess what? We got Shakur Stevenson. After he win this featherweight title, he might move up to super featherweight just to make sure he get Lomachenko. So Lomachenko just needs to face up to these guys, beat whoever you got to beat, and get the fuck on. You know, Bob Arum always trying to protect his fighters. Tyson Fury almost get his ass beat by Otto Wallen. Sheriff, going wrong. Oh. Frank Warren all panicking and shit. Thanks to Bob Arum. Great matchmaker. I'm just saying. So that's the beat. So you can't go in on Derrick Jaames. Called it like you saw it. I'm out. Peace.